How's it going, people? Borja Pola, YouTube's finest, ready to comment on the Numancia Real Madrid game that we saw today. 2-0 for Real Madrid. Big win. I was wrong. I predicted a 1-1, so thank God I was wrong. But as you saw, it wasn't an easy game. It was a pretty tough game. Now, before we get into the game, you might notice no more closet, okay? I got a few criticisms from some viewers, from some listeners, saying that it didn't look too professional. So I had to change the settings a little bit, spice it up for you guys. But before we get into the game, I got some announcements to make. First off, shout out to my boy Jimbo, my boy Omar, my boy Chechu. Keep watching, keep putting comments. I appreciate it. I love you guys, okay? I'll see you soon. Also, Georgie wanted me to talk a little bit about Julien Faubert, the new Real Madrid signing. He is actually not a signing. If you didn't know, Real Madrid has paid 1.5 million euros to have him on loan for 6 months with the option to buy for 6 million euros. If Real Madrid were to buy this player, it would be the cheapest player that I've seen in a long time for Real Madrid, which is amazing because every team just rips us off. Now, first of all, what do I know about this guy? I don't know much, honestly, and I think if you ask a lot of people, they will say the same thing. He's basically like an underground player, no one really knows about him, and that's why it's surprising that Real Madrid is buying him, getting him right now, because it seems like it's kind of a desperation move. If you guys have been staying in touch, Real Madrid looked like they were gonna go for Valencia from Wigan, the Ecuadorian player. They were almost gonna pay 18 million euros, which to me would be crazy because that is not a first division caliber player. He's not a top-notch player, okay? And I think that they settled for probably even a worse player. Now, this guy started off in Cannes in France. He played there for a couple of years. Well, he actually grew up in the inferior divisions, and he played with the first team 2 years, I believe, and only scored 4 goals. Then he moved to Girondins de Bordeaux, however you pronounce it, where he was for 3 years, and he scored 9 goals. Now, that is actually the same teams that Zidane grew up in, or that's kind of the same career path that he took, those 2 teams in France. But I'm pretty sure this guy's not a Zidane. And then he moved to West Ham. He's been there for a couple of years actually, and he hasn't played much because of injuries. So I don't know. I'm not too sure about this guy. I'm not too confident, and we will see. Like I said, I think Real Madrid just needs to balance the team up because having Sneijder on the flank is not really giving them the aspect that Juan de wants, which is 2 outside midfielders, and obviously Zendel's not fitting in. So anyways, that's all I know about this guy. I really never watched him play, and he's a big surprise to me. So we'll see how it works. What else about today? If you guys saw the Athletic de Bilbao-Malaga game, big game. Bilbao won 3-2. They're having a pretty good year after having a tough one last year where they almost got relegated. And they're having a great player in Llorente. Also, like I said, guys, be sure to watch my podcast or hear it because there's an audio. I put the link last time. It's www.goldengol.podbean.com. I'll put the link again for you guys here, and you guys be sure to check that out. Also, be sure to watch the game tomorrow, Liverpool-Chelsea, okay? That looks like it's going to be a big game. And also Barcelona-Racing, or Racing-Barcelona, because it is in El Sardinero in Santander. I have hope that maybe Racing might pull up a tie or even a win. Hopefully Sigic just scores on the other side, and maybe it's league interest, okay? Because Real Madrid is doing their homework. We're fighting 6 games in a row, 1 in La Liga. We can't ask for anything else, but we just gotta hope that Barcelona messes up a couple, loses some points here and there, and then we gotta raise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the Numancia game. It is the first big surprise for me, or the first thing we gotta talk about is I saw a slight change in system. I saw Juan de Ramos come out with a 4-3-3 with Sneijder, Sangago in the midfield, and Robben, Higuaín, Raúl up top, and that gave the team a different view and a lot more versatility. You saw Raúl drop into the left, Higuaín going to the middle, Robben switching flanks, so you saw a lot more movement of positions tactically. Same in the midfield. You saw Sneijder come in and receiving the ball. You saw Gago opening up, etc. I think what Juan de Ramos is trying to do is create more creativity, get more movement with the ball, because the last few games have been, like we've been talking about, very boring, very mechanic. And yeah, I think the first half was really bad for Real Madrid. I think we had a one shot on goal. Numancia had most of the ball. They had their chances. They hit a post, and yeah, it didn't go too well. But in the second half, the game changed a lot for Real Madrid. I think basically the key there was that Robben kind of turned on and started doing his thing. Like we've been talking about the Robben dependency that Real Madrid has, and we saw it again today. The first goal was basically his play. Took it down the right side, did a diagonal with the ball, a slant, gave it to Higuain, who shot, and Raúl put the rebound in. Now, if you guys don't know, that's Raúl's 307th goal with Real Madrid, and he has tied Di Stefano's record. That is impressive, because Di Stefano is one of the best players in history, definitely the best player for Real Madrid history. Has done a lot for this club, so yeah, there you go, Raúl setting records again for you doubters. Speaking of Raúl, it is true that he's lost a lot of movement, a lot of touch on the ball, a lot of speed. Yeah, he's still kind of doing his homework. He's still putting in goals, one today, one last week. And I mean, you just can't really hate on Raúl. He's done so much for Real Madrid. I always say that if you're a Real Madrid fan, yeah, you criticize Raúl or you don't like him, you're really not a Real Madrid fan, because Real Madrid is a synonym for Raúl, vice versa. Raúl is the icon. He is everything to this club. So yeah, Robben also with another goal. I don't know how many he has. I think it might be 5 in a row, or at least 4, but it is amazing. This guy right now is at the top level, guys. In my opinion, in this month and a half, 2 months, if he could be this consistent, he would definitely be one of the best players in the world, hands down. What I am seeing now is totally amazing. Like, I really can't remember a player being so like prominent in Real Madrid's attack, so present, and he's just doing amazing things. I really hope that he stays injury free for the rest of the season, and hopefully has good luck for the rest of his career. He's still young, and he can do a lot of good things, especially if it's helping Real Madrid. Back to the game. Real Madrid's La Sangago are a show. They're a two-man show. That midfielder is tough. You cannot get past them. I mean, they both are two lungs. They run non-stop. They're aggressive. It is a good working midfield, and I am very surprised about how they've been performing. When Guti gets injured, I really don't know what's gonna happen, because I can't see Juan de Ramos changing this midfield. It has been so effective for them. I mean, Real Madrid has had 0 goals scored in a lot of the last games, and they're partially responsible for it. I also saw a great Cannavaro today. A very good Cannavaro, good in the cut, good with the ball, just a force in the back. And I'm happy to see him, because he's a great player. The defense was solid, even though Numancia could have scored a goal. Casillas had a great save. Casillas is back, guys. He's doing those 2 saves a game, which just win games for us, and that is very vital. I saw a good Higuain as well for Real Madrid, seeing that power that he has with the ball, that potency, that speed, and he should have scored one today. Hopefully you get it next time. Now about Numancia, the first half, defensively they were amazing. Their lines were so tight. As soon as Raúl got it, or Higuain, as soon as we got it in their third, there was 4 players swarming around the ball, getting it. They were tactically great, very similar to how they played last week versus Barcelona, because they started out great in the first half, and then they kind of fell apart in the second half, and that's what happened today. If they managed to stay consistent, we might have seen a different game. I really like Del Pino, number 11, playing on the right side. I think he did a lot of good stuff for them. I also wanted to tell you guys about Quedo. I don't know if you guys saw him. He's very short. He came in the second half. He is very, very good. Fast, skillful little player down the flank. It is actually funny, because my brother played against him in one game. Quedo came from Santana, a small little team 3rd division team in Spain. It's right in my neighborhood. It's right where I live. And my brother played in the B team, in the younger team. So they actually scrimmaged together a couple times. So I don't know. It's pretty impressive that that guy is in 1st division, having played my brother just a couple years ago. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the game. I think Real Madrid improved a little bit in their game. You saw a little bit more connection. A couple plays where they were just 2-touch, knocking it around. but still there's a lot to be desired for, because it's not the Real Madrid we want to see yet. And yep, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, listen to my podcast, and I'll come at you guys Thursday with the Racing Real Madrid pregame analysis. Okay, see you guys then.